Hi there, welcome back in the studio. This video is brought to you by Gospel Beats at gospelbeats.com. Today I wanted to share with you guys a pretty cool beginner's EQ concept, and I also wanted to showcase a little bit of the features of a staple of the industry, the Q10 EQ from Waves. This is a parametric EQ. If you're not familiar with the concept, it's a fully programmable EQ. Okay, so you have the gain or attenuation control. You can select the frequency, and you can also select the range of frequencies you're working on. This is called the Q factor. Okay, if you have all of this on board, you have a fully parametric EQ. You don't necessarily have to buy the thing. So any parametric EQ, it's good to follow along the lesson. So don't need to invest money if you don't feel like doing it. Just grab the onboard EQ from Pro Tools, Studio One, Reaper, your DAW of choice, and you'll be fine. So let's check out what we have here in the session. We're working on a pre-made Gospel Beats beat. So let's check out what it sounds like. It sounds pretty good, but really nothing crazy is going on here. So we want to keep things real here at Gospel Beats, no tricks. So it's just a thing you can get your hands on in real life. So purchase a beat, download it from the internet, and grab it from a friend and start experimenting. With just 4 bands, we're applying a different EQ concept in each band. This is great to start learning how to operate on the spectrum. It's not that straightforward at first, and you want to start experimenting with very little tools, okay? So you always want to start with the bottom end of the spectrum. Then you can move at the top end, okay? You can apply gain like this, or you can attenuate the whole spectrum like this. Okay, this is called the band EQing. So this is another concept. Then you have 2 bell EQs here, so-called bell EQs. So you have one pointing up, which is a gain zone here in the bass. This is used to select what you want to have in the bass. This is a technical EQing. We'll get into that in a minute. This is the more of an advanced concept here. Point it around 1K and then move up. So you have 4 different EQ techniques, 4 different EQ concepts, and each one of them is good to understand a single physics, I would say mixing concept. Okay, so each one of them is used to tackle a specific problem or to enhance a specific part of the spectrum. So be extra careful when you work on EQing. You just have to know what you're attenuating or what you're enhancing. This is just about that. Okay, and filtering is crucial. So what we did here is we filtered anything here below 50. Anything below 50, it's a sub-harmonic that is not going to be played on any average monitoring device. So your headphones are not going to be able to play it. Your average loudspeakers are not going to be able to play it. You're just going to hear this on super expensive studio stuff or on big public address systems, so on big subwoofers. If you can't hear a frequency, just filter it. Okay, there are some physics involved in this, but the general rule is to get rid of everything below 50. You'll end up having a lot of benefit by doing this. So just accept the general rule. And what this does, you can kind of decide the amount of bass you want in a beat. Now, most of the time you want to remain at 50. In some other scenarios, you may want to filter a little bit of the bottom end. For instance, if you have too much kick drum, you may want to get a gentle slope here, a gentle filtering out. Of course, don't do this, because this doesn't make any sense. Just filter a little bit if you feel like something is going on in the bass, but generally speaking, you just want to filter the sub-harmonic. Just filter the bad stuff while retaining the clarity in the kick drum. Now, let's go to the top of the spectrum. We want to do a little bit of enhancement. What this does is just this. You can tell there's something is going on here, we're adding a bit of detail, a little bit of brilliance in the hi-hat. There's a lot of information stored in this area, and you don't want to lose it, but you don't want to go overboard with that. So what I mean by going overboard is this. Way too much stuff going on. You don't want to do this because you're killing the sound. You have your bass sound here, and then we just wanted to enhance a little bit of the clarity. Too much? Just fine. Okay, this automatically sounds more pro, so to speak. It sounds more detailed. Okay, that's what you want to have in a clear sounding beat. Okay, you're helping the groove a little bit. You're helping by rediscovering a little bit of the detail of the reverb, of the snare. A lot of stuff is going on. Don't do that too much, but do enhance a little bit of the hi-hat and do that to your taste at first. You can always start to stress the thing up to kind of understand better what's going on. This is not a typical scenario. This is not a typical scenario as well. In a beat, what you want to do most of the times is do like this. Do an enhancement of like from plus 3 dB to plus 7, 8. It depends on the track. We decided to go with a enhancement of about 6, which is quite a bit, but it works. Okay, now we decided to do something on the bass as well. You can select 2 frequencies. One should be for the kick drum and one should be for the bass in general. Okay, since we're only operating on 4 frequencies here, we need to decide if you want a little bit more of bass or if you want a little bit more kick drum. What this does is this. Kick is here, the bass is here. Now, this is a pretty common EQ technique. This is called the swipe technique. You swipe your way around the spectrum and you're trying to find what you're looking for. Now, typically, the kick drum is at the bottom of your spectrum. Okay, here at about 50, 60, 70, even up to 80. And the bass is around, I would say most of the time, from 100 to 200. Here we have a slightly higher bass than usual because here we wanted to highlight a little bit of the higher frequencies of the bass. You have some bass. I wanted to have a little bit more of it. Okay, that's cool. And that's it. So for the second band, try to find a sweet spot between having a little bit more of kick drum and a little bit more of bass. Now, this is a different concept here. This is more of a technical EQing. Okay, this is a thing I do a lot when mixing hip-hop sessions with a pre-made beat. I'm kind of creating a little bit of space for what's coming after beat. So this can be a little bit of space for guitars. Most of the time it's going to be a little bit of space created for vocals, since 1K is the central frequencies you find on vocals. But in general, it's the area in which you want to stack clarity. Okay, you're actually stacking frequencies over frequencies. You can see that there's a lot of stuff going on here. Okay, we don't just have the beat. We have a lot of stuff going on here. And we want to try to find some space. So we decided to subtract a little bit of energy from a point that doesn't store much information on the beat. So it's this. Almost no change at all. And that means that you can safely discard a little bit of energy from here to have the chance of adding it afterwards on a more significant instrument. Okay, you have a significant amount of energy here if you have additional snares, additional drums, if you have guitars, if you have the bass guitar, something going on here, you have vocals, backing vocals, you'll end up having a lot of pressure here. And you want to ease some of that pressure starting from the bottom, so you can safely discard the information you have here and use the energy you saved to highlight a different part in the arrangement. So mixing and EQing, in this case, is all about energy management. If you want to make something cut through the mix, you have to make space for it, discarding some of the information that are stored in the different layers of the arrangement. Okay, and you want to start out from the bottom. So we make space in advance for what's coming next. Guitars, maybe, synths, pianos, everything, but especially we're making space for vocals. Really crucial. Okay, so we want to make sure that they are cutting through the mix and we're not missing anything, because we want to understand the words, we want to get the melody, we want to get the tone of the singer. So we need to plan in advance for that. So guys, try to experiment with that. We're getting to guitar, synths, and vocals in the next lessons. For the time being, just practice by applying some changes to a beat of your choice. So let us know if you have some trouble. Let us know if the approach is working out for you here in the comments. Drop a like if you enjoyed the content. Consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.